What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another Madden 20 franchise mode video. Guys, this will be, without a doubt, no matter what happens, this will be the last one. And so we decided to basically start off right where we left off. And unfortunately, we did not pick up the big names in the free agency like we expected. Unfortunately, Linder ended up going with the Chargers, and for some reason, Harrison decided to sign with the Detroit Lions because clearly, they're going to be a Super Bowl winning team. So we have to go with the next best thing to kind of plug the holes on defense and kind of see what we can do here. And right now, for our first pick, we go with a defensive tackle because defense, without a doubt, to me was probably our weakest link last season, and we're going to see if we can fix that here. And we go with a left end in the second round. Definitely had a right guard on our list, and he was the first overall in the third round available. I was like, we're definitely taking him. But yeah, guys, with Madden 21 basically around the corner, and actually for those of us that probably have EA Access or EA Play, whatever it's called now, we're able to play. So we'll basically call this the last video of Madden 20, and on the next update we'll probably do Madden 21 franchise mode, which I'm curious to see how Kyler Murray's stats are going to be affected by that, just because normally, at least from 2K standards, normally like the rookie class, it's always the strongest because of the fact that they have a very high potential. While if like I'll give you an example, like 2K17 or 18, where Jason Tatum was a rookie, his potential was a 99 overall, and Mikael Fultz was also same thing, as well as Lonzo Ball. Obviously, when you played the game the following year, probably Jason Tatum's potential was still really high, but Mikael Fultz and Lonzo Ball weren't anymore because of the fact that they had already played the season. So 2K developers already adjusted their ratings and stuff like that. So we're like, just like what we did in the previous video, we're gonna do the whole season. So I did cut a lot of stuff out. If you guys are curious about some of the small stuff that we took care of, you guys can watch some of the earlier videos. Right now, since we are on a time crunch, we're gonna try to get everything all in this one vid, and cutting guys right now. So since these guys are assets, we're gonna see if we could flip them for picks here. This is the one strategy I always want to make sure you guys make sure you guys look at this right now. Second round pick, and perfect. We end up giving them a 7 in exchange so we could get that second, which is going to be good for draft. Not that it matters too much anyway, because we're not going to do any draft. So that's another thing that's going to cut a lot of the time out of the scout, is that we're not really going to do much scouting because of the fact that it's going to be very rare, if not impossible, that we end up coming back to this. And so we end up giving up Thompson finally, because unfortunately he just did not make the cut for the 53 roster man list. And we end up splitting the preseason. We go 2-2, which is not ideal, but our roster, there's a lot of green on this roster, which is great. Our fullback, it's always kind of like on the iffy side, unless I think unless you draft an actual fullback, it'll always be in that orangey rating. And right now, these guys are panicking because we're going to face the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, and Baker Mayfield. And we do end up getting the win here. So already not a bad start here, 1-0. And James Daniels goes up to an 82. So already a lot of guys we need to upgrade here. And actually our rookie, our left linebacker. So see, this is one thing you always want to make sure you're doing manual upgrades for some of your top guys, because the scheme fit is sometimes, so in Sean's case it was the top one, but for our guy Owen it was the bottom option. And unfortunately a CPU will always go with the highest option or with the top option. So just something you guys need to keep in mind. We are going to do a little bit of contract extensions just so you guys can see. So see, CD Lamb wanted 4 years. We're going to offer him about $1 million more and a higher signing bonus, so we can go ahead and get him for 7 years. And they end up going for it. So don't be afraid to just ask. Perfect example right here. 1 million, 15 mil. We're gonna throw an extra $500,000 for an extra year, and boom, they end up going for it. So That's the one thing I do like about this game is they go realistic. Is that if you go a little higher on the money, they'd be more than willing to stay a little longer, which is great for us because that way we get to continue our roster the way it is, and we get to save money, which allows us to bring more free agents. It just sucks that we weren't able to capitalize this time around with the free agents. But then again, Arizona's a really tough sell, and the Redskins, who actually this is their final time, we end up losing to them, and this is the final time they will be known as the Redskins. Because in Madden 21, from what I'm aware, the update will call them the Washington Football Team, which is going to be basically their name if we end up having a 2020 NFL season, which is still TBD, but we'll see. We'll see. So ironically, we ended up dropping a game to the Redskins, which it would have been a lot better if we would have gotten the win, but it is what it is. And so we end up keeping our punter, our X Factor punter, for pretty much the rest of his prime, and nice contract there. Training. So we end up going with the rookie class in the beginning. I think once we start getting closer to like the latter half of the end of the season, we'll end up switching them out. Kyler Murray gets an upgrade, so he goes up to an 82 overall. I'm interested to see his rating in Madden 21. We'll see how that goes. And right now, they want us to beat the Bears, who are actually very surprising. They're 2-4. That's actually surprising. And so we are going to go ahead and do the change this week since we are getting closer to the latter half of the season. We're going to go ahead and put Fuller in, who's our 90 overall. Christian Kirk, as I mentioned to you guys, because at the end of the day, CeeDee Lamb is an X factor. We'll go ahead and try to get Christian Kirk right now to a higher overall. And obviously Kyler Murray, because you need to have a really strong quarterback anyway. And then Buda Baker, he ends up getting upgraded to an 83 overall as we advance to Week 8. We end up dropping the game to the Ravens, which is not ideal. But we're still in this. We're still in this, and let's see what we can do here. I'm on board, coach. But with that being said, I still they want us to beat the Cowboys, of course. And of course, we have that one injury which probably cost us the game against the Ravens. And the Cowboys. We ended up losing to the Cowboys. So we end up dropping 2 in a row. And so we do end up putting James Daniels in the rotation for the training because we want to see if we could develop and get him to the next available point. Andre Sixco, our full safety, goes up to an 82 overall. Unfortunately, we end up dropping another game to the 49ers, who have a very terrible record, actually. So I'm very disappointed about that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just need to keep going. It's probably the injury that's probably screwing us over. And for contract extension, so we do end up signing our 76 center. And now KJ Hill's contract is expiring, so we'll go ahead and re-sign him as well. And we'll go ahead and ask him for 5 years. Probably throw about less than $500,000 more per year. So we end up going 32.3 for 5 years with the bonus. And our guy Owen goes up to a 78 overall. So that's actually 2 points in the last 7 weeks. So already looking like a pretty good prospect for us. Christian Kirk goes up. Looks like our focus in training allows us to pretty much pays off. So now he goes up to an 84 overall. And now we have Andy Isabella, who finally 79. Unfortunately, injuries really cost us last year in his development. Because I really think we could have at least had him in an 80-81 option. And so we end up putting CeeDee Lamb as, since we already have Christian Kirk develop a point, we're going to see if we could do the same thing with CeeDee, who is an X factor, so it should allow us to get him up there a lot faster. We end up using our Coach XP to make sure we give a training boost to our running back, since we need to really make sure we can get a nice running game in case something happens with the passing, in case Kyler Murray gets cornered or whatever needs to be done, basically. And one of the things that did not pop up, so we ended up trading David Johnson for our guy Nines, or Nain, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. And that was one of the trades that we did make that unfortunately I didn't, I decided to cut it out. But it was a very simple trade. We just traded them straight up, and they ended up going for it. The Chargers actually ended up going for him. And I was like, all right, sounds good. Sounds good. We ended up getting like a 3-point boost because David Johnson had declined to a 79. And I believe he's an 81, 82 right now. So a nice little upgrade. And Lord knows we need all the potential help we can get to pretty much get through the playoffs and really make a deep run. And we do end up bouncing back, and we end up getting the win over the 49ers here. And unfortunately end up dropping one to the Seahawks, which is not great. So now we end up going to the losing record side, which was the thing that we definitely did not want to happen in the season, especially after we were 4-0 to start the season off. Like it's just so sad how much we've dropped off, and it looks like the injuries are just not going to be able to allow us to recover here. I mean, we're going to need to win all of our games. We're going to go ahead and do another switch. Now that at first we had put Jones, we're going to put Byron Murphy. But then, yeah, let's see if I could actually do Butta Baker since 27. That means he's basically had like one more year before he starts declining. And Andre Sitko ends up going another point. So, nice upgrade there for our X Factor. And unfortunately, our season pretty much ends. We end up dropping 2 in a row to end our season. Actually, 3 in a row. So we end up going 6-10 for the season, and that pretty much do it. So unfortunately, the closest we got to the conference championship, and just fell short that season. It just sucks. Injuries did plague us pretty much the last 3 seasons, and we were just unable to recover. But just for those of us interested, that's pretty much how the standings turned out. The Seahawks end up winning the division. Rams by a game behind end up getting the second berth. Unfortunately, we were nowhere near any of these guys, and even the Dolphins were a lot closer to them qualifying than we were, which that says something, and that unfortunately pisses me off. In the sense that I feel like our team was a lot better than a 6-10 team. Like I really do feel, and this is for the Pro Bowls. Looks like so far nothing so far. I was gonna say David Johnson, but no, Aaron Donald from the 49ers, Khalil Mack, Fuller. Our guy Fuller, I guess and the Cisco. So it looks like we did have some Pro Bowls there, which was great. No Kyler Murray, but you know it is what it is. And so MVP, the Colts, Andrew Luck, who no longer in the league. I don't even think he didn't even play the 2019 season. So that's actually pretty funny. I'm actually shocked that our rookies were not closer, considering that our rookies were gaining a lot of points. But you know, I guess the NFL staff was not unimpressed by our team record. And the Giants, so we simulate to the Super Bowl week. I think it's the Giants and the Rams. We'll double check right now. Oh yeah, the Chargers and the Giants, and the Chargers end up winning the Super Bowl. Guys, I really do appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to check out my other content, I got other videos as well. You guys take care, guys, and stay safe out there.